How many times did you wake up last night to use the bathroom? If you're like millions of Americans over 60, the answer is probably more than once. Picture this. It's 2 a.m. and you're lying in bed, eyes wide open after another trip down the hallway. Your spouse shifts beside you, both of you silently frustrated by another broken night's sleep. You tell yourself it's just part of getting older, that there's nothing you can do about it. But here's the truth nobody wants to talk about. Those healthy dinner choices you're so proud of, that fresh salad, that vitamin-rich fruit, that comforting bowl of soup, might be the very things sabotaging your sleep. We've been told our whole lives to eat our vegetables and stay hydrated, and we are. The problem isn't what we're eating, it's when we're eating it. Your kidneys don't care that it's bedtime when you load them up with the wrong foods at the wrong time. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share 5 specific foods that, while perfectly healthy, become sleep destroyers when eaten at night. More importantly, I'll show you exactly when to enjoy these foods so you can keep eating what you love while finally sleeping through the night. The woman who discovered this simple timing trick hasn't seen 3 a.m. in 6 months, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how she did it. Number 1. Why certain foods disrupt your sleep. Your grandmother always told you to eat your vegetables, drink plenty of water, and have a good meal before bed. She meant well, but she didn't know what we know now about how your body changes as you age. That refreshing slice of watermelon after dinner, that healthy salad you're so proud of eating, that soothing cup of herbal tea before bed. These aren't just innocent choices. They're turning your nights into a battlefield. Here's what happens inside your body when you eat foods high in water content at night. Your kidneys, which have been working faithfully for 60, 70, 80 years, don't slow down just because you want to sleep. When you fill your stomach with water-rich foods in the evening, you're essentially asking your kidneys to work the night shift. Every bite of that juicy orange, every forkful of cucumber in your salad, every spoonful of that comforting soup is sending liquid straight through your system. But it gets worse. Those salty seasonings you love, the ones that make your food taste so good, they're not just flavoring your meal. They're sending signals to your kidneys to work harder, to process more, to produce more urine. Your body doesn't understand that you want to sleep peacefully through the night. It only knows how to do its job, which is to process whatever you put into it. Think about last night. You had a beautiful dinner, maybe some fresh fruit for dessert, felt virtuous about your healthy choices. Then, 2 hours later, you're lying in bed and suddenly you feel that familiar pressure. You try to ignore it, hoping it will go away, but your body has other plans. That first trip to the bathroom breaks the spell of sleep. Even if you fall back asleep quickly, your sleep cycle is broken. Your body never quite settles back into that deep, restorative rest it needs. The cruelest part is that you're doing everything right, or so you think. You're eating healthy foods, staying hydrated, making choices your doctor would approve of. But timing changes everything. Your body at 60 isn't the same as it was at 30. Your kidneys process things differently now. Your bladder doesn't hold quite as much. Your sleep is more fragile, more precious than it used to be. This isn't about giving up the foods you love or drastically changing your diet. It's about understanding that your body has a rhythm, and respecting that rhythm is the key to reclaiming your nights. The solution isn't in your medicine cabinet, it's in your kitchen, and it's simpler than you ever imagined. Number 2, which foods should be avoided at night? Let me paint you a picture of a typical evening in millions of American homes. It's 6:30, dinner time, and you're proud of the colorful plate in front of you. Fresh watermelon chunks glowing like jewels. Crisp cucumber slices in your salad. A steaming bowl of chicken soup. A refreshing glass of iced tea. It looks like the perfect healthy meal, doesn't it? But your kidneys are looking at this feast and preparing for an all-night marathon. Watermelon is 92% water. Think about that for a moment. When you eat a serving of watermelon at dinner, You're essentially drinking a large glass of water disguised as fruit. The same goes for oranges, melons, grapes. These fruits are nature's water bottles, and they're wonderful, necessary, healthy choices. But eat them at 8 in the evening, and you might as well set your alarm for midnight, 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., because that's when you'll be visiting the bathroom. Your beloved evening salad tells the same story. Those fresh tomatoes, crisp cucumbers, leafy lettuce, they're loaded with water. That handful of cherry tomatoes in your salad contains more liquid than you realize. When you add it all up, cucumber, tomato, lettuce, maybe some radishes, you've just consumed the equivalent of drinking a full glass of water, but you don't realize it because it came disguised as vegetables. And that evening soup, the one that feels so comforting and light for dinner, it's liquid with a few solids floating in it. Your body processes that broth, that stock, that base, and sends it straight through your system. Even if it's a thick, hearty soup, the liquid content is still substantial enough to wake you up hours later. Then there's your evening tea ritual. Maybe it's chamomile to help you relax, or green tea for its health benefits. You sip it slowly, thinking it's helping you wind down for the night. But that warm, soothing liquid is adding to the burden your kidneys will be processing while you're trying to sleep. The tragedy is that none of these foods are bad for you. They're actually wonderful, nutritious, necessary parts of a healthy diet. The problem isn't the food itself, it's the timing. It's like wearing a winter coat in summer. Nothing wrong with the coat, it's just the wrong time for it. Your body is trying to tell you something, and those middle-of-the-night bathroom trips are its way of communicating. Every time you wake up, frustrated and tired, your body is sending you a message about timing, about rhythm, about respecting the natural processes that have kept you healthy all these years. Number 3, when is the best time to consume these foods? There's a magic window of time that most people over 60 never think about. A secret that could transform your nights from restless wandering to peaceful dreaming. The foods you love don't have to disappear from your life. They just need to find their proper place in your day, like putting the right piece in the right spot of a puzzle. Morning is when your body wakes up thirsty, literally thirsty for the nutrition and hydration it needs to start the day. This is when that juicy watermelon becomes your ally instead of your enemy. Your kidneys are fresh, ready to work, ready to process all that wonderful liquid and nutrition. When you eat water-rich fruits at breakfast or lunch, you're working with your body's natural rhythm, not against it. Picture this instead of your usual evening routine. You wake up and slice fresh orange segments into your morning yogurt. The sweetness wakes up your taste buds, the liquid hydrates you after hours without water, and your body has the entire day to process and use that nutrition. By evening, it's done its job, processed and cleared, leaving your kidneys free to rest when you do. That fresh salad you love so much, it belongs at lunch. Noon is when your digestive system is at its strongest, when your body can handle the fiber, the water content, the work of breaking down all those fresh vegetables. Your metabolism is higher during the day. Your kidneys are operating at full capacity, and that cucumber and tomato combination becomes fuel for your afternoon, instead of fuel for middle-of-the-night bathroom visits. The 7 p.m. rule changes everything. After 7 in the evening, think of your kitchen as winding down, just like the rest of your house. This doesn't mean you can't eat dinner. It means you choose foods that work with your body's natural preparation for sleep. Your kidneys want to slow down as bedtime approaches. Your bladder wants to empty one last time and then rest peacefully until morning. This timing isn't about restriction, it's about respect. Respect for the body that has carried you through decades of life. Respect for the natural rhythms that help you function at your best. When you eat that morning watermelon, you taste the sweetness and feel energized. When you eat that same watermelon at night, you taste regret at 2 a.m. The beautiful thing about this approach is how quickly your body responds. Within just a few days of shifting these foods to earlier in the day, you start to notice the difference. Your evenings become calmer, your bedtime more peaceful, your sleep deeper and more continuous. It's like finally working with your body instead of against it, and your body rewards you with the gift of uninterrupted rest. Number 4. Practical examples of dinner substitutions. Let me show you exactly what this looks like on your dinner plate, because knowing what to avoid is only half the battle. The other half is knowing what to choose instead, and I promise you, these substitutions will surprise you with how satisfying they can be. Instead of that fresh garden salad loaded with cucumber and tomato, imagine a plate of roasted vegetables. Carrots that have been slowly caramelized in the oven, their natural sugars concentrated and sweet. Zucchini that's been grilled until tender, with just a hint of herbs. Green beans that have been steamed and lightly seasoned. These vegetables have had most of their water content reduced through cooking, but they've retained all their nutrition and gained depth of flavor you never get from raw vegetables. Your evening grain can become your friend instead of your enemy. A small portion of rice, simple and comforting, absorbs flavors beautifully without adding liquid to your system. A piece of warm bread, maybe whole grain toast with just a touch of butter. These foods satisfy your need for substance without overloading your kidneys with work they'll have to do while you sleep. Seasoning becomes an art form when you understand what works with your body at night. Those heavy, salty spice blends that make you reach for water. Replace them with gentle herbs like basil, oregano, or thyme. A little garlic powder instead of fresh garlic, which can be more stimulating. These subtle seasonings add flavor without triggering thirst or putting extra stress on your kidneys. Think about texture and satisfaction in new ways. A baked sweet potato, its flesh soft and naturally sweet, fills you up without filling you with liquid. Cooked carrots, tender and slightly caramelized, satisfy your need for vegetables without the water content of raw ones. A small serving of pasta with a light coating of olive oil and herbs gives you comfort and satisfaction without soup's liquid burden. The key is thinking dry versus wet, cooked versus raw, concentrated versus diluted. That evening snack doesn't have to be fruit anymore. It can be a handful of nuts, which provide protein and satisfaction without any liquid content. A small piece of cheese, rich and satisfying. A few crackers with a thin spread of nut butter. These aren't sacrifices, they're discoveries. Many people find that these substitutions actually taste better, feel more satisfying, and leave them feeling comfortable and ready for sleep instead of overly full or stimulated. Your taste buds adjust within days, and soon you're looking forward to these new evening choices instead of missing the old ones. The most important thing to remember is that this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Start with one substitution and see how your body responds. Maybe replace your evening salad with cooked vegetables for a week. Notice how you feel, how you sleep, how many times you wake up at night. Let your body's response guide you to the changes that work best for your particular system. Number 5. Real-life transformation stories. Margaret was 73 and hadn't slept through the night in 2 years. Every evening, she religiously ate her dinner salad, proud of her healthy choice, loaded with fresh cucumbers, tomatoes, and lettuce. She told her daughter it was the one habit she'd never give up, the one thing that made her feel like she was taking good care of herself. But night after night, she found herself awake at 1 a.m., 3 a.m., sometimes 4 a.m., padding to the bathroom in her slippers, frustrated and exhausted. Her daughter suggested she try moving that salad to lunch instead. Margaret resisted at first. Salad was her dinner tradition, her way of ending the day on a healthy note. But desperation finally won over habit. She moved her beloved salad to noon and replaced her dinner vegetables with steamed broccoli and roasted carrots. The first night, she woke up once. The second night, she slept until 5 a.m. By the end of the first week, she was sleeping 7 hours straight. When I spoke with Margaret 6 months later, she laughed and said she couldn't remember the last time she saw 3 a.m. on her clock. Then there's Robert, 81 years old, whose evening tea ritual was sacred to him. Every night at 8:30, he'd brew a pot of chamomile tea and sit in his favorite chair, sipping slowly while watching the evening news. It was his way of winding down, his signal to his body that the day was ending. But that soothing ritual was sabotaging his sleep. He'd wake up like clockwork at midnight, then again at 3, his bladder full and his sleep shattered. When Robert learned about the timing connection, he moved his tea ritual to 5 p.m. Same chair, same cup, same peaceful feeling, but now his body had hours to process that liquid before bedtime. He worried he'd miss the ritual, but instead he discovered something wonderful. His 5 o'clock tea became a celebration of the end of his workday, a bridge between afternoon and evening, and his nights. Uninterrupted sleep became normal again instead of exceptional. The story that moves me most is about Helen and Frank, married 57 years, both waking each other up with their bathroom trips throughout the night. Their evening soup tradition, a different homemade soup every night, was their way of staying connected, of sharing something warm and nourishing together. But they were both paying the price in broken sleep and daytime fatigue. Instead of giving up their soup tradition, they moved it to lunch. Their evening meal became simpler, drier, more focused on cooked vegetables and grains. But here's the beautiful part. They kept the ritual of cooking together, of sharing something special. It just happened at a different time of day. Their lunch became the highlight of their day instead of their dinner, and their nights became peaceful again. Frank told me, with tears in his eyes, that getting his sleep back gave him his energy back, and getting his energy back gave him his wife back in ways he didn't even realize he'd lost. These aren't extraordinary people with unusual problems. These are regular folks who discovered that small changes in timing can create extraordinary changes in quality of life. They didn't give up foods they loved, didn't buy expensive supplements, didn't make dramatic lifestyle changes. They simply moved things around, respected their body's natural rhythms, and found their way back to peaceful nights and energetic days. Tonight, when you sit down to dinner, you'll see your plate differently. That fresh salad, that juicy fruit, that comforting soup. They're not the enemy. They never were. They just needed to find their right place in your day, like old friends who have been visiting at the wrong time. The truth is beautifully simple. Your body at 60, 70, 80 years old has earned the right to be understood, not fought against. Those middle-of-the-night wake-ups weren't a failure of your willpower or a sign that you were broken. They were your body's way of asking for something different, something kinder. When you move that evening salad to lunch, when you save that watermelon for breakfast, when you choose roasted vegetables over raw ones at dinner, you're not giving up anything. You're giving yourself back something precious. The gift of uninterrupted sleep, the joy of waking up rested instead of exhausted, the confidence that comes from working with your body instead of against it. These small changes ripple outward in ways you might not expect. Better sleep means more energy during the day. More energy means more patience with the people you love. More patience means more joy in the simple moments that make life beautiful. It all starts with respecting the wisdom your body has gained over the decades. Which of these changes feels most doable for you right now? Maybe it's moving your evening tea to 5 o'clock or swapping tonight's soup for tomorrow's lunch. Start small. Start somewhere. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear which tip you're going to try first in the comments below. And if you know someone who's been struggling with restless nights, share this with them. Sometimes the simplest solutions are the ones we need to hear most. Sweet dreams start with simple choices, and you have everything you need to make them.